All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. Get straight back into it because I will say I didn't actually um, get anything done off stream uh, since last time. So what we're gonna do first is wander around Trotsky Castle a little bit because I got stuff to yap about. I'm sure. Got new videos that just came out. A couple of them since the last time. Well, one since the last time plus a short. But I want to wander around Trotsky Castle because I actually think that this is just really, really cool. So, first of all, also yes, gorgeous loading screens. Pretty much all the loading screens in this game are just spectacular. I wonder if they're going to let me play with this. I want to borrow the arrow loops. Can I? Hey guys, can I use your arrow loops? Sweet. Oh, I can't get that close. Okay. Can't get too close. Cool. All right.
What are you doing with that thing?
Oh, sorry.
Are you trying to shoot me?
No.
Get away now, or I'll take you in.
Okay. Sorry, bud.
You see? Didn't even hurt.
Good evening, Grace, Imp, Joey. The ominous music has come in because I was being a menace. Dude, yeah. So Imsim says I don't know why, but I'm low key more excited when you play this game. I'll probably never play it than the Star Wars game. It's because it's a great game, and also it's
sharpened already.
No, but I want to just top it off. It's just it's much prettier. And it's not just because, and that's not just because it's a newer game. I mean, that contributes, I'm sure. But it's just so much about this game is just gorgeous. Anyway, so things I like about Trotsky Castle. First of all, they've got the wooden palisade, or the wooden wall, I should say, because it's not technically a palisade. It's elevated with a pretty steep slope on the other side. And then if you'll notice, the Merlons on the crenellations up here are actually, I believe, of appropriate height, which I'll want to check that out, but I believe they're of appropriate height. Ooh, are those drainage? Or, yeah, those look like they're drainage holes. Oh, okay, that makes sense. But it's high enough, and there's a good enough angle between the crenellations up here and the outer wall. And then also, if you look further, like, look at the angle of this. You have the hoardings up on the upper, up on the actual castle, and then the wall of the inner bailey, the crenellations, and then you have the outer wall. All of this is in almost a perfect line, so everything can shoot over the layer that's further out to hit attackers. It's just such a nicely designed castle. And then also with the position, you don't usually have like castle houses that are what appears to be whitewashed wattle and daub timber, like even just timber frame at all. Castle houses like that up there, that's not too common. And the reason they can get away with it is because the position of this castle is just so defensible on its own.
But I've got so much to do. I'd have to split
Anyway,
myself
I
in
love
two to get it
I
all
love
done on
this.
time.
I love this
Why don't you
castle.
take on a young apprentice to help you out?
It's so very nice.
Where could I find a decent apprentice?
Oh, your father had some stuff stolen out of his car. That's rough. Pray that he gets things back, or at least is able to recover, if not the things themselves, at least get some recompense. All right, before we go back into the Inner Bailey or talk to Hans either, because I do want to go back into the castle because there's a quest I have to pick up there. I want to look over here at the like little, basically call it a castle town, if you will.
But it was just a simple misunderstanding. Bollocks, a
See
misunderstanding.
what all is going
You
on.
made a fool of yourself, more like.
So what am I supposed to do then?
You should go and see the priest.
Yeah, I basically would like to do a nice little tour of this castle, just because it's so nice. Is that? Oh, it's sunlight coming in. Okay, I see. Neat. We've got a nice little herb garden. What is feverfew? I need to dry this. That's what I need to do. Is there a drying rack in the castle? No, there isn't, is there? Smithy. Indulgence chest. Dice. Combat arena. I should check that out. Priest. Shrine. Another wheel. No, there's no drying rack in the castle. Darn it. Okay. Alright, well. Oh yeah, we have nice little structural barriers here, mostly just for land retention with the slopes like this. Otherwise, rain would wash a lot of this out pretty badly. Very cool. Hey Matthew, how you doing? Can I buy stuff from you? Yeah, nice.
Good day, sir.
Show me your wares.
I already have a knight's pouch, right? No, I don't. Okay, it's an extra slot. Yeah, I do need that. Knight's belt. Exactly what I have. Oh, yes. Okay, so the cobbler sells gloves. Odd, but okay. Nice. Noble boots. Simple shoes. Vagrant's work boots. Yeah. Saddles and stuff. Alright, what can I sell? Anything of use, anything of note that's worth selling. Alright, never mind.
Let's talk about the price.
Well,
Is this enough?
more.
Calm down.
Finally. Thank you, sir. And
All right.
again.
Stop that whistling. You're behaving
I'm
like a child.
I'm calling my horse. All right. Any of this that I can sell to him? Actually, I'll just take these and I'll sell those to the what's it called? Sell those to this guy. Here we go. Cool. Cool. Excellent.
I'm glad you found.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I should put on that. I should switch to that new pouch, shouldn't I? And I should put some stuff into my pouches, because I have 3 pouches. 3 whole pouches. Alright. What's this do? Do I have strong Aqua Vitalis at all? I do. That'll be fine. Yeah, good enough. Oh, hey, I have this alchemy skill book. I forgot about that. Now I can sell that pouch.
I was glad to.
Forgot. I need to Now I need to equip this pouch and my other 2 outfits. There we go.
Be of
All right,
help
cool.
to you,
Now
good
let's go.
sir.
Let's keep wandering about. Am I allowed in here? Or am I going to get yelled at?
Who's
Oh.
can I help you?
No, we're good. Sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Yes, I'm not allowed in places. Oh well, that's fine. I mean, that is kind of reasonable. I did just kind of walk into someone's house. All right. The gallows. Ooh, and here is the wow. This is not a particularly defensible position, just because the like. Because let's hold on. Yeah, look. Yeah, I can't exactly crouch down under that. It's like thigh-high walls.
What a view!
But what are you gonna do? I mean, it's not an ideal defensive position, but it doesn't really need to be, because you do have these little watchtowers, which are much better. Although the field of fire on these arrow loops is still kind of minimal. The outer defensive wall on this castle is not ideal, but that's not really the defensive part of it. That's really just the I don't know, the corral that goes around the real castle, which is up there. Can I go through here? Oh,
You're not allowed here.
didn't know that. Sorry.
That's it. Go now.
Me. I thought I was welcome in the castle. I don't know what happened. Whatever, it's fine. Whew. Oh, geez. If we're since we're competing for Dad's truck stories, I can't compete with either of you guys. With particularly with Grace had your dad's truck had stuff stolen from it, and also was set on fire.
Is there something you need?
Can I? No. Okay, sorry. I thought I could go into some of these. I thought this was like, I don't know, like inn. It almost looks like an inn. Anyway, I guess I'll go. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right, into the actual castle, into the inner bailey. Oh, sorry, into the outer bailey. This is still the outer bailey. I mean, still, despite being 20 years ago, it's still, I don't know, I would say not a story I can compete with. So just at least that.
Worried about the price.
Okay. Let's see how much we can get.
That's not worth. You'll. Thank you, sir, and come again.
Love my speech skill. All right. So no, I'm sorry. This is the outer bailey, which technically this is the.
For light people like you. God be with you.
God be with you. How's the
I
watch
guess
going?
this is technically the middle bailey, because I guess there's 3, right? Technically, I think this outer courtyard, or I guess this would count as the outer courtyard more than it would be a bailey, because I guess it's not exactly part of the castle per se. This is the castle proper. You know, the stone walls. Anyway. Anyway. Hey. Training weapons. Like Bartosz.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
Why not? If you have a bit of time, I can teach you something.
Ooh. Kurjal. Kershau.
As you can probably figure, I like the longsword because it's beautiful and an absolutely nimble weapon. Our grandfathers didn't use them, but today in Prague, everyone is tripping over themselves to learn how to fight with one. I'll be happy to show you how to handle it better. What do you say?
I mean, your grandfathers did use them, but they were not nearly as common. Your grandfathers were mid 14th century. That's not that early. Longswords really came to prominence in the 14th and the 15th century, but they were around commonly enough since at least the 13th.
That sounds good. Teach me that.
As you wish. The first thing is to realize a sword has 2 blades, and thanks to your second hand on the hilt, you can quickly spin it around and hit your opponent's head. These are exactly the techniques that make the longsword an extremely deadly weapon. Now come and try it a few times.
Okay.
All good? No learning?
Okay, so what is it? Kurzau. After attacking twice from above, finish the left, slip past your opponent's weapon. Interesting. I guess it's
from heaven for anybody.
It's basically what, a reverse edge cut, something like that. No fighting.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
Why not? If you have a bit of time, I can teach you something.
Crushing blows for
I
anything.
like a longsword, but there's not much room for it in the heat of battle, where brute force will come in more handy for you. Such a hit with the pommel of a sword, handle of an axe, or edge of a shield will certainly disorient everyone. Would you like me to show you?
Yeah, 320. That's
That sounds good. Teach me that.
All right. As I already said, often mainly brute force will help you in a fight. Attack with any short weapon a few quick times. Then, move towards the opponent and hit him in the face with the shaft. Oh, and if you have a shield, use it. That will definitely ruin your opponent's day. Now come and try it a few times.
Yeah, edge of a shield is a nasty
good?
thing to hit with.
No learn.
All right. Another technique.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
So, why not? I happen to have some time on my hands, and a good stretch would do me well. I can show you how I teach the local men to fight with pikes. It's not that noble a weapon, but it's dangerously effective. One slash across the belly and you've got him where you want him. What do you say?
I mean, great. Sounds good. The only issue, of course, is if you're wearing armor, but whatever, sure.
That sounds good. Teach me that.
Gladly. You start slicing the pike with a slow arc to yank the opponent's weapon aside. This will throw him off balance. So then you slice the pike's blade into his unprotected belly. If you do it right, it's all over. There's no more to be done. Believe me. Now come and try it a few times.
Okay.
Good.
Let's see. Crushing blow is not usable with longsword. Darn. It's only one-handed and sword and shield. All right, fine. Heavy weapon though, crushing blow. I can do crushing blow with a what? Oh, heavy weapon. I was thinking polearms. Okay. Stomach slice. Right down, down. Okay. Right thrust, thrust. Neat. Let's practice fight.
Can we fight?
What would you prefer? A practice fight? Or a real one?
Let's just
I just want to practice.
Why not? Why are we really
What's your
fighting?
weapon of choice?
I have enough practice with the longsword. Let's go staff.
I'll take a staff.
What should I take?
The same as me.
Shall we get started?
Yeah, let's go for
I'm
it.
ready.
Oh, see, there we go. I did that. That's cool. That's really neat.
Ah! Fucking hell!
Boop. All right.
That's enough.
As you
I
wish.
don't love pole arms, but it's neat. It's fun.
Had enough? What now?
All right, let's.
That's enough for now. I need to rest for a bit.
All right.
One more time then.
All right. Into the inner bailey. I could see if I can go in there, but they're probably not going to let me, so I'm going to go into the inner bailey. Moving on. Let's see what we can sell to our blacksmith. Oh, wait, hold on. Horse. Ooh, there you are. Come here. Oh, you can't come in, can you? That's fine. No, none of this I can sell. Blacksmith probably won't buy a gambeson. Okay. Let's see. Sell. I have nothing to sell, do I? Oh, those horseshoes. Right. It's cool. Broadaxe. I don't actually have a broadaxe. Design. No. Alright, that's all.
Thank you, sir. And come again.
Hey there, Hans.
You silly doggy.
Not just yet. Let's go up into the castle, if we can. Oh, it seems we are allowed. That's good news. So yeah, we gotta go up here, and we gotta talk to somebody
I hope
about
you
something.
politely saw them out. I reminded them that you've been very kind to them several times in the
Who's
past
Yitzka?
without
Is that his-
expectation
that
of
his
anything
wife?
in return.
You did well. Who was the loudest of them?
Welcome back.
Some
Ensign.
burger, Rudolph, who owns a large butcher's shop.
Very well. Remember him, and when we are in Yichin, we shall graze his
My
house
respects.
with our visit.
Greetings. What would you like?
Here we go. First of all,
While exploring the region, I came across several graves of your men.
Ah, yes. Captain Thomas and his men were not the only ones not to return. At least we know what happened to them. Here. Something for your trouble.
Is there any work around the castle I can help with?
Well, there's the issue with the demons.
excuse me?
Quiet! I don't want to cause a panic. But yes, unfortunately, once again, devils are wreaking havoc at Trotsky.
You mean horned ones? From hell?
Do you know any other kind? I'm preoccupied with tasks from Lord von Berghoff at the moment, so I don't have time to deal with it. But I suppose you could do it? You and that friend of yours have a lot to make up for.
You want me to get involved with hell itself? At least tell me more about
Don't
it.
you have a priest for this?
You know the times we're living in. War, bandits. The devil took advantage of the chaos and sent his hellspawn here. The
Reasonable,
castle is
honestly.
built upon an ancient, though fortunately extinguished, fiery moor. It's no wonder it's so close to hell. The spawn of hell shows up here from time to time, and I want you to improve your standing with me and help me out.
How many do you think there are?
A
Sure.
lot. Certainly
A
more
lot.
than there are sinners in the region. Expect at least 10 beasts for every soul.
That's some army. And I've never seen a real demon before. So what needs to be done?
Our cooks, Manietta and Berto, were complaining about the creatures running around their kitchens. Ossiner, the castle blacksmith, was also blabbering something of the sort as well. The good news is it's only 3 people. for now. We have to act quickly to prevent the panic from spreading any further.
What did you do about it in the past? I reckon this isn't the first time you've had to deal with it.
We usually cleansed the infested places with the help of a priest or an apothecary. Except for that one year when Sir Otto himself faced Lucifer in the Maiden Tower.
Lord von Berghoff has my admiration, then. How long did they fight? And what kind of armor was Lucifer wearing? Did Lord von Berghoff sustain any injuries?
Imsimp, I think you made the Frollo comparison
In
last
any
week
case,
as well.
you'll have
If you
to
didn't,
ask
somebody did.
Marietta and
'Cause
Bertha,
it's spot
or
on.
the blacksmith perhaps, where the demons are coming from. And then simply make sure to get rid of them for good. You understand? I'm sure both the scribe Erazim and Father Nicodemus will have something to say about it as well. The question is if you're up to it, or if I should call in someone braver.
I'm ready to scour the castle and try to chase those monsters away. Could you arrange for me to be able to go wherever I want in the castle, without anyone chasing me out?
Very well. You can move freely about the castle while completing this task, but don't stay any longer than necessary in otherwise forbidden areas. I'll let the guards and servants know discreetly. If anyone asks, tell them you have my permission.
You said something about a priest and an apothecary. Should I pay them a visit?
We've always used either holy water or magic water from the apothecary to get rid of those hellish creatures. Which one would you prefer?
Holy water, definitely.
I reckon the holy water is more likely to work against demons.
If I recall, it was blessed by the bishop himself during the Easter Vigil. I believe you can do it. Should the demons attack you, just run away. But don't make too much of a ruckus, or you cause a panic. God be with you.
Demons of Trotsky. God bless you. Okay, cool. That's interesting. I'm gonna go talk
I
to
apologize.
the. Sorry about that. We go talk to the blacksmith. At least know where he is. Is it demons? Yeah, demons. This does kind of sound like it might be rodents. Given their convenient placement and their numbers and the fact that they have bothered people without damning anyone. But I don't know. Sure, we'll find out. So Imsip is asking about my. Excuse me. Not my latest video, but the previous one, the one about the Trinity and a reference. It says, I watched a video on and if Jews and Muslims worship the same God, I had some thoughts come into my head. Is it really worship if only Catholic and Orthodox worship is accepted to God? Since only we offer the sacrifice of the Mass, a blood sacrifice similar to how Abel's sacrifice was accepted by God and not Cain's. I would say that... So first of all, there's a distinction, I suppose, between worship and attempted worship, maybe? That regardless of whether it's accepted or not, I think it's quite clear that Jews and Muslims offer worship to God, even if it is ultimately not appropriate, right? Not the appropriate sort of worship. So there is that distinction, but I do think that we can at least say that worship is offered. Now I think we can also say that. That there is true worship offered, but that it is insufficient. Insufficient by divine decree. Now, why I make that distinction so carefully is that any worship is insufficient by its essential nature. What we owe to God is of infinite worth and significance, and we simply cannot repay what we owe to God. It's impossible. We owe God an infinite debt, or we owe God infinite gratitude, at least. So no act of worship is sufficient by its own very nature. However, there are acts of worship, that is the Mass, essentially the Christian practices, that are sufficient by by the divine covenant, right? By the covenant with God, that God declares them sufficient. Not just for Christ's infinite atonement. That's one infinite thing that we owe God. But then also simply our existence, right? Our being and the existence of the world. I cannot sufficiently thank God for the creation of everything that is. I can't repeat that. I can't attempt to. I can't even think to. So of course not.
The Chamberlain mentioned you've seen demons at the castle.
You're damn right I did. What do you know about it?
Nothing. That's why I came to you.
I'm sure
Frankly
at least
curious.
half a dozen demons have taken up residence in the western courtyard. If the Chamberlain didn't tell you how dangerous this is for all of us, I'm telling you now.
How do I find them?
Of course he told me. That's why we're trying to resolve this as quickly as possible.
I'm glad to hear it. Give those demons their due.
Tell me what you know then.
You know the guardhouse with the little arena? In the palace below the Crone, over by the outer wall? Inside, I mean, on the ground floor. The place stinks like hell, day in and day out. It makes my head spin.
Interesting.
I've seen things there with my own eyes I'd rather not talk about. I'd start the investigation there if I were you.
All right. I'll look into it.
Okay. I still got to talk to Bertha, and I got to talk to Manetta. That is Bertha's the cook, I believe. Was right up here. Yeah.
The Chamberlain said you know something about the demons haunting the castle.
Those monsters are back again. Last summer, we only heard them scratching the walls and roof with their claws. But they got a lot more bold this time. They're leaving charred marks on my wooden spoons, throwing clumps in my food, and they're constantly leaving their droppings in my kitchen.
Are you sure they're demons? I've seen a few mice here. They go wherever they want.
Only you youngsters can come up with something so stupid. You wouldn't know Lucifer if he pricked you in the forehead with his horns. I'm sure they're demons. They're jealous of the prosperity and peace Lord von Berghoff has brought us these last few years.
If you say so. Where should I look for them?
They're coming from the other side of the castle, below the
She didn't like that answer.
I swear.
How should I deal with them?
Of course. Everyone knows the demons enter this world through the flames. You have to find 5 fireplaces in the palace, under the maiden, and sprinkle water on them. Be careful to sprinkle
It's Ronan J.D. Vance. Okay, hold on. Do you mean Ronan J.D. Vance meaning like Don from the Discord server, or do you mean J.D. Vance, but a samurai?
Every third drop must be twice as big as the ones before it.
Okay.
I'll take care of it. I hope I can do it exactly as you said.
And one more
Let's
thing
try.
to take to heart. The spell is most effective when performed in the moonlight. But most of all, don't forget 9 drops. It was good to see you, my friend.
Okay. Let's talk to Manetta. Who is in here? Yeah, I do actually like the idea that it is literally just... Man, I don't know how moddable this game is,
My respects.
but there really does need to be a JD Vance in this game. The meme face JD Vance. Absolutely. He needs to be in this game somewhere. Maybe as a demon, or maybe it is just, a guy with sword. Who knows? Oh yeah, that's right. 1700th anniversary of the Council of Nicaea. 1700. Nice even round anniversary too.
The Chamberlain said you know something about the demons haunting the castle.
Of course I do. But I don't know what to think anymore. I keep finding hair in my food. Someone hides my spices. My soup goes sour. And there's that awful smell.
Oh, that sounds terrible. The Chamberlain wants this resolved as soon as possible.
It's about time. Do you have any idea how scared people are? All it takes is one mention of those beasts and the maids start threatening to find work elsewhere. Oh, I hear the castle has always been connected to hell, but nobody tells you that when you ask to work here.
Where should I start looking?
They must be coming from the other side of the castle. Under the crone.
Bertha told me the demons are likely to be coming from here, under the Maiden.
Oh, of course she did. They've been messing with her head. That old crone's under their spell. I always knew it.
Let me guess. I'm going to have to go around fireplaces and sprinkle 9 drops of water on them.
9? Why 9? But you're mostly right. You have to douse the ground in front of the fireplace they're coming from. That creates a boundary demons can't cross.
All right. Where can I find the fireplaces?
That's hard to describe. Anyway, there are 5 such fireplaces on the crone side of the castle. Together they form the shape of a 5-pointed star, a pentagram.
Don't worry. I'll take care of everything. Hopefully I won't miss any of them.
If I were you, I'd do it during the night. Even the demons have to sleep sometime, don't they?
The devil never sleeps.
Exactly.
And the old hag rushes in where the devil fears to tread, eh? The sooner you get rid of them, the better. See you soon, my friend.
I kind of like that we are working for a crone and a maiden. No, we need to do the spell under moonlight, apparently. So let's follow up first on the blacksmith's lead.
Good evening, Henry.
Good evening.
Okay, let's see. Grace says, because samurai are technically Shinto interns of religious affiliation, which to Christians then it would have been tantamount to demons, devil worship, and witchcraft. Yeah, kind of. I could see that, yeah. Then again, there were Christian samurai. I mean, there were presumably Christian Ronin as well, I would think. I'm not completely sure of that. But I would think so. Well, hey, no, I'm trying to give you pets. Come here, boy. Yeah.
Privies for the soldiers, but not a demon in sight.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, the horrible, horrible smell was exactly what you would expect. Come on, dude. Like...
You must have been wrong about those demons. The place you described to me was just a shitter.
You're right. My bad. I realised as soon as you left.
So where should I start looking for those demons?
I was actually going to send you to the palace below the Maiden Tower. It's upstairs, near Lord von Burgos and the Burgrave's chambers. I hear a mysterious door appears right next to the staircase leading to the tower. It must be the devil's work.
Okay.
All right, then. I'll take a look.
Yeah, Imsim. So I heard about. I saw some brief pictures of this. I heard about it. So that Pope Leo met with the ecumenical patriarch of Constantinople, who is apparently Bartholomew. I didn't know his name, but now I do. Let's try his thing first. I don't know. I'm tempted to assume that it is that the women are right, just because the symbolism of the crone and the maiden. But whatever. Let's see if we can figure this out, shall we? But yeah, I do
God
think
be with
that
Keep the peace, and we'll
if
stay
if
friends.
any
God be
pope
with you.
in recent memory
How's the
had
watch
any
going?
chance of
Not
healing the
bad
schism or
so
or
far.
moving towards it, I think that Pope Leo is a good candidate for that. This is
Oh, great. Another shitter.
Asina. What the fuck? A door opens. It's a curtain and a garderobe. What is? Okay, whatever. Okay, so this actually does relate to well, first of all, what you're saying now, but then also relates to something you said in Discord earlier. You're asking about what if Pope Leo and Patriarch Bartholomew said they're getting the band back together. Cool, awesome. But how exactly? That's always the question I have for reunification with the East. Is like basically, what would be the difference, essentially, between reunification and just more people joining the Eastern Catholic churches?
Huh?
I'm not supposed to go in there, I guess. Because any reunification would have to be under Rome, right? It would have to be under the authority of the Pope. None of this first among equals things. The Bishop of Rome is the supreme pontiff, and that's that. I don't think that's negotiable, really. So that might, I mean, honestly, that may wind up presenting an insoluble problem. But again, like I said, I think that if any recent pope can solve it, it looks like Pope Leo is a good candidate.
The place you sent me to was just another privy. I'm starting to lose my patience.
Oops, excuse me and my befuddled mind, I've messed up again.
Where the hell are these demons? Tell me.
Look around the staircase leading to the scribe's chamber, near the maid's quarters. It's between the palace below the crone and the tower. That reeking, hellish door must be hidden there.
I swear, if this is another shitter...
Of course not. I wouldn't dare threaten the security of the castle.
If there's nothing there, you'll have me to answer to.
I'm sure you'll find something. I'd get my weapon ready if I were you.
Third time's the charm.
God be with you, good sir.
Okay. That's over this way, right? The guy whose room I walked into is still looking for me.
Of course. Another privy. That's enough of that.
By the way, this is really, really cool. Love this stairway built into the basically the mountainside.
I hear there are demons causing trouble at the castle again.
Again? Is anyone sprinkling yet?
Aye. Me.
That's the only thing that works.
What do you think of all
Well, okay
this?
then.
Occasionally, I hear the servants telling stories that sound like they're taken straight out of a Cistercian penitential. Even Gregory the Great, Gregory of Tours, Caesarius of Heisterbach, or Jacobus de Vorgine all share a similar view of unholy forces. The devil, as the enemy of both God and man, makes every effort to seduce the soul onto the road to hell, and to harm people however he can. How do you imagine the forces of evil?
No. Yeah, draconic imagery, I think.
Like a horrible serpent that'll wrap its tail around you and suck out your soul.
An interesting fantasy, almost Hungarian in nature. King Sigismund would be pleased. Anything else?
Interesting.
I'd like to learn something.
What are you interested in?
I'd like to get better at writing.
All right then, but it'll take a while.
All right. It's almost nighttime. I'm going to wait 1 hour.
A little more here.
Oh.
What are you barging in here for? You're not allowed here.
Oh, sorry. Did not realize. I assume the fireplaces are not in the wooden tower, so let's go back down. Alright, so... Oh, not supposed to be in here either. What? Yeah, so Klaus, no, you're not bringing up a dead topic. I think it's a solid point. It says that, I'm convinced that nobody actually cares about the Filioque. It's all a smokescreen for hating the idea of being under Rome. I think you're more or less probably right there. Let's not pick the lock, because I will be obviously seen and probably shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, I tend to think that's probably right.
More here.
Especially just because, well, let me put it this way. I actually do care about the Filioque. I do think that it's actually an important doctrine. That it allows us to preserve divine simplicity and aseity while still preserving the full doctrine of the Trinity. So I do think that it's an important doctrine. It's just that, yeah, I do think that it is mostly a minor quibble between you know the East and the West. I don't actually think that it's that big a deal. It's if nothing else, if anything, it's really just it's a terminological dispute more than anything else. Anyway, so Imsep was saying Eastern patriarchs and bishops will have to recognize the Pope. That's why I pray God softens their hearts. Yeah, I think that's kind of the tough part. There's dialogue, theological discussion of in North America between Catholics and Orthodox. They're right about how a united church would look. One thing they mentioned is we should remove the physical filioque, from the creed. It'll remain there but not said, or we can have an ecumenical council once we are reunited to put it in. Look, I don't think that's necessary. I think that it works perfectly fine the way we're currently doing it. That the sui juris Eastern Catholic churches don't have to say the filioque. Like they're not required to say or even to affirm the filioque. They're just the requirement, I believe, is that they're not allowed to resolutely deny it because it's declared at a council. Right. But yeah, I think that's there's already a good compromise in place. I don't think that we need to go really any further than that. I'll take that. Where am I missing fireplaces? But sorry, he continued. There are still hardliners in the Orthodox Church that want us to get rid of purgatory, papal infallibility, immaculate conception, and purgatory. I think some will remain in schism. To say that, to that I say we shall grab them by their beards and drag them kicking and screaming to Rome. I don't see that working too well, but I suppose we can hope. Okay, well, I got this one already. Right? Yeah. I'm told the spell works best under moonlight, so we are now under moonlight. Let's do this. It's probably through there, isn't it? He's gonna get mad at me if I go through there. And this is a this is a fireplace. Can't I just? Alright, whatever. Moving on. It's not a fireplace. Stand by. Hold on. Oh, you did say purgatory twice? I did not notice you say purgatory twice. Did I say it out loud twice? Huh. This is not the spinning wheel. Interesting. Okay, never mind. There's no fireplace in here, so let's not bother it. Not bother. I'm not allowed to light a torch inside. Interesting. But yeah, no, I do think that I don't see us getting rid of the doctrine of purgatory. Let's say that. What's this? Ooh, stealth book. I need that. Okay, that is actually an interesting question. Can Pope Leo the 14th become bi-ritual and say Mass in the Eastern style? Or I guess I should say the Eastern Rite Mass. I don't see why he couldn't, and quite frankly, I think that he probably should, given that he's the Pope of the whole Church, not just of the Western Church. I see no reason why he wouldn't. I see no reason why he would have to become formally bi-ritual. I think that he could celebrate the Eastern Catholic liturgy. Yeah, I don't think that there'd be anything to make that illicit. Not really.
They won't be getting past this.
Klaus says, for all the doctrinal differences, we just tell the former Orthodox, just tell your congregants that it's a mystery, like usual. Honestly, yeah, that's probably the best solution. Like, they don't... Here might be a good compromise. They don't have to affirm all of the various doctrines that we know. They just have to stop denying them. What's that? If you've already completed your task, I'll need you back at my estate as soon as possible. It seems our enemies have found a way to harm us right under Trotsky. I need your cunning and skills to deal with them swiftly. No one in the region knows you, and we must take advantage of that. Arrive preferably at night. What? Excuse me? What the fuck is that talking about? That's real sketchy. Who's looking for me? Did I bother somebody up here? Oh, locked. Ah, one more fireplace. There we go.
A little more here.
That's it. Okay. Nothing plot relevant. Yeah, Amen, Imsimp. Imsimp prays, and I pray with him, that we get Eastern mystics who have visions of purgatory. The Immaculate Conception realizes that it's the way of things. Amen. Let us pray. Yeah, let's not. Don't want getting trouble. Alright. And honestly, that, not to be overly mean, but that might be the best, if not only way, to convince the Orthodox of new doctrines is, you know, a mystic getting a vision. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I do think that, like, if we were to go with the sort of compromise that they just have to not deny the various Catholic doctrines, they don't have to affirm them, and they can just say that the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist is a mystery.
Doing this right.
But that that transubstantiation, for example, is not necessarily wrong. It is one way of explaining the mystery of the Eucharist. All right, you know what? I think that is a reasonable compromise. What the heck is going on? Why am I trespassing down here? Oh, it's a dungeon. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be in here. Maybe I should close the door. I was already down there plenty. What is this? Right there, isn't it? Oof. Try that again. There. Imsim says, I was just reading Pope Leo and Patriarch Bartholomew plan to meet in Nicaea in November. The Patriarch invited the Holy Father to visit Constantinople. Cool. Very cool. Arrows. No. Ooh. Nice materials. I don't really need it, but nice nonetheless. There are precious few weapons in this armory, but whatever. Not where I need to be. Good to know. Good to know that it's there. Moving on. Again, we should pray for unity, but unity without undue compromise. And that's always the difficulty, isn't it? Scrambling around here at night.
8, 9.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I'll close your bedroom door. Checking your office for demons, sorry.
Don't show yourself here again.
Oh, hey, it's Hans. He has a nice room. You're welcome for banishing the demons from your bedroom, Hans. No fireplace in here. Moving on. Imsip asked what his work into the history of Eastern Rome did to aid the process of dialogue and reunification. I don't know in terms of like you specifically, but a solid knowledge of history is always a boon to try and get to the root of issues that have an historical basis like this, right? That there absolutely is an historical basis to the schism. That it's not just something which is there. It's something that happened. And given that it did happen at some point in the past, that it had historical circumstances and conditions and all of that, knowing how it happened can go a long way towards knowing how it might be repaired. Hey, Thomas, you doing okay? Do you have a fireplace with any demon? Any demons yet? You see any demons? Any demons in the chapel? There shouldn't be demons in the chapel, right? Let's do some praying before I go. Always best to pray while we're hunting demons, don't you think?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
Now that's it.
And forgive us our trespasses.
In terms of like knowing the history and that contributing to undoing the damage.
Not into temptation.
We shouldn't be tempted to genealogize away
full of grace.
The schism.
The Lord is with thee.
Or really anything. That's a temptation brought on by the post-structuralist historiographical model. So the idea of an historical genealogy, or a genealogical critique, as I think it's typically called, the idea is that what you do is you trace the origins of an idea, and then you find, and by explaining what the origins of the idea are, you can explain away the idea's significance. Excuse me. This is essentially the fallacy that C.S. Lewis referred to as Bulverism. And there's a reason that his essay on the topic is subtitled "The Foundation of 20th Century Thought." Because it really is. It is really the post-structuralist method. I'll link that essay either in the description and probably in Discord. But it's actually a really common error. And by error, I mean it's an entire school of historiography, of writing on history, that basically attempts to explain away the significance of things by explaining how they came to be, and that's quite silly. And by quite silly, I mean it's explicitly fallacious. It's just a genetic fallacy. It's not anything extra special beyond
Don't
that.
show yourself here again.
Go away, demons. Okay, one more. I have to find one more. Is that a fox skin rug? That's cute. That's cute. Is this it? Oh, there it is.
I hope I'm doing this right.
Oh, so too. Do you hear that? The whisper. The... Oh, nice stuff. Not gonna take it. Okay, so quest. Return to Osina. But he's asleep, so I'm gonna go also sleep. Okay, my little bedroom is over here, I believe. But you know, it's 2 a.m., so maybe I should do some blacksmithing. It's the perfect time to hammer away at the anvil, don't you think? Gosh. Am I familiar with the Blessed Anne Catherine Emmerich? Only vaguely. I know her name, and I know that she was a mystic. 20th century, right? 20th century, right? She was recent? Relatively modern? Whoa, hey, bud.
Look what I have for you.
Here, bud. Have some pig. Have some pork. You little roast piglet. You go, boy. 18th, 19th centuries. Okay. Okay, that's... Okay, close enough. Close enough. That's recent, as far as I'm concerned. There was electricity in her lifetime.
Greetings.
Born in the
What
late
would you
1700s, died in the 1820s. Yeah, that's recent to me.
I heard the castle is haunted by demons again, Nicodemus. Did they bother you too?
They did indeed. A few days ago, I was in the chapel, deep in prayer, when a spawn of hell appeared before me. Fac mihi hominium. Swear an oath of allegiance to me.
My God. What did you say to it?
I laughed in the face of the Prince of Darkness. Would you not rather renounce your slavery and return to heaven? I told him. Without hesitation, he replied, better to rule hell than to be a slave in heaven. And then he disappeared, veiled in a terrible, foul-smelling smoke.
That won't be
Sounds
written
horrifying. But anyway,
for another couple hundred
like
years.
I said,
That's John
I
Milton.
was told to sprinkle water. If they dare try that even on a man of faith, nothing else will help.
I'm glad you have faith in the Lord, and not in some old wives' tales. Now take up your task, and rid us of that hellspawn. May the Lord guide you.
Yeah, that's absolutely from John Milton. So there's actually a huge difference in the portrayal of Satan between Dante and Milton, even though they were separated by only, like, what, 120 years or something? Again, it's outside my period of historical expertise, but regardless. They were relatively close in time. But they really do, they straddle the line between late medieval on the part of Dante and early modern on the part of Milton. And they are... No, I have not listened to the Paradise Lost audiobook. Interesting. Who reads it? I'm curious. It better be somebody good. I've read the actual book. But yeah, they absolutely straddle this cultural and religious line. 400? No, it's not 400 years. No. They were way closer than that. Because Dante wrote in the 16th century, right? Ooh, Ian McDiarmid read it. That's pretty good. That's got to be pretty good. Yeah, but Dante wrote in the was it late 15th or 16th century, something like that, and Milton wrote around 1700 or 14th. Really? No. John Milton was 1600. Okay. Again, it's in that period between 1277 and 1977 that I can't quite remember dates properly.
Blacksmith?
Look at that face!
Let me guess. You didn't find any demons?
300 years apart. Still, though.
Done looking for them.
There's no need to anyway. You made so much noise the demons all crawled back underground. Christ! To think, I'd find a moron who'd buy it 3 times in a row. 3 times!
So you were just wasting my time?
Not at all. Next time your belly starts rumbling, you'll know exactly where to go.
A great life lesson. Really.
I should challenge him to a duel. Anyway. Okay, 300 years apart is more than I was thinking, but not by that much. It's still, my point still stands, though. What I was getting at, though, is that they really do represent the late medieval mind, the late medieval conception of Satan and of hell, versus the early modern conception. And so for Dante, Satan is a prisoner. Satan is in hell, like any other spirit is in hell. He is deserving of eternal punishment, is turned away from God, is curved in upon himself, and is consumed by hatred of both God and of himself. Whereas, in Milton, God casts Satan out, first of all, and the reason, of course, is Satan's disobedience. And the pride of Satan is essentially that, well, like we just heard, that it's better to be king in hell than a slave in heaven, which is a little silly, frankly. There we go. And why I say it's silly is it's the very modern idea, and the idea that we still kind of have, of Satan ruling hell, when really Satan he's the centerpiece of hell in Dante's terms, but that's because he was the first. He was the first there. And he was the first there because he was the first to turn his back on God. In
You're always welcome
hatred
here,
of both
noble
God
sir.
and self. The hubris of Satan was that he refused to bow down and honor man, according to Milton, which, again, we don't actually get in Scripture. That's not in Scripture or in the tradition before that. It's the idea that Satan was. Well, let me give you an example of what the distinction might be. You may know that Saul Alinsky, who wrote Rules for Radicals, he's basically the leftist tactician who invented many of or sort of codified many of the ideas of the leftist protest movements of the late 20th century. He's the sort of post-Marxian critical theorist of the strategist for the critical theorists. He dedicated his book Rules for Radicals to Satan, but specifically Milton's Satan. He specifically refers to Satan in Paradise Lost. And it's because he's a radical against hierarchies. or at least against natural hierarchies. He wants to worship himself rather than worshiping God, which is essentially what the left does, and will lay claim to it. That is very different from the fundamental opposition to being itself that we see with Satan in the pre-modern tradition. Have I ever read The Mystical City of God by Blessed Mary of Agreda? No, I have not. She writes that Lucifer wasn't permitted to witness the creation of man, and so believed Adam to be the incarnation of God, so felt compelled to cause man's fall with all due haste. Interesting. Interesting. I have heard of that. Oh, excuse me. An idea at least like that somewhere.
I took care of those demons. They shouldn't be a problem anymore. I've still got chills down my spine thinking about those screams.
Hopefully things will quieten down again for a while. Most importantly...
I decided to help Ossiner as well. I can still smell that stench everywhere.
He got you too, did he? He tries that prank on all the newcomers to the castle.
You knew? Why didn't you warn me?
I wouldn't want to spoil his fun.
Wow.
Anyway,
Okay.
the job is done.
Trotsky Castle,
That's
held by
a
Sir Otto von Berghoff, Lord of Billin, Royal Chamberlain of the Kingdom of Bohemia, Chairman of the Provincial Court, Member of the Crown Council, Magistrate of the Peace, Burgrave of Prague, thanks you.
That's quite a thing. Quite a long...
I didn't
a lot of
fight
titles.
Lucifer like Sir Otto, but even so, the demons should leave you alone. I'm glad I could help.
And I'm glad that all I have left to deal with this month is fixing the stairs, the sedilia, and checking all the chimneys.
You've got a lot to do.
There's always something to do at a big castle like this. Also, don't think you can continue to move freely about the castle. You are hereby stripped of that privilege.
Aww.
Nevertheless, since the minions of hell didn't reach the castle's coffer, nor did they cut into our profits, you deserve a reward. God be with you.
Oh, I wanted to continue wandering around the castle. I may anyway. I mean, no one's yelling at me for being up here. Alright, I'm a little hungry. But not hungry enough for honey, so I'm gonna wait. So Imsim says, oh yes, this I've definitely heard, that Adam, she mentioned that Adam looked exactly like Christ, and Eve exactly like Mary. Hence the new Adam, the new Eve, that whole thing. Yeah, that I've definitely heard. I had definitely heard of that. I didn't know the origin of the idea. I actually don't know if that is the origin of the idea. That may be an older idea. But with sort of visionary confirmation, if you will. All right, now that we've wandered around this castle, let's go.
Nice and slow.
Let's go to find Hans, and go to the next castle. We have another castle to get to.
Well, should we set off for Nabokov? I don't think I could tolerate another day under one roof with that idiot Schumberg.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck him. We're here on account of von Berghoff. I have a feeling he won't be giving him a pat on the back either for the way he treated us.
I suppose you're right. But I won't be fucking humiliated.
Well, you're not
A jump-top tosser like that isn't going to get high-handed with the Lord of Perkstein.
I agree. Although, the Lord of Perkstein can also act pretty haughty at times.
Look, I know I behaved like an idiot, but...
Dude, no, just...
Nah, don't worry about it. It's water under the bridge.
I'm in your debt. Talking of debts, there's one more we need to settle. Both of us. That herb woman, Bojena, really helped us after that ambush. If it hadn't been for her, we wouldn't have survived.
Aye. You're right.
I did pay her
gave her
back.
my word. And the word of a noble must be kept, as we both know.
Don't worry about it. I took care of it on behalf of both of us.
You did? My word, Henry. You are a true Bellator. Only half by birth, but your heart is filled with blue blood.
Thanks, Hans.
How is she getting on, actually? I hope she hasn't had any trouble on account of us.
Not on account of us, no. But... well, it's a complicated story. And not a pleasant one.
Jesus. I'm sorry to hear that. But right now, I'm not in the mood for sad stories. You can tell me another time, but now Nabokov awaits us. It's high time we set out so we can get back before nightfall.
Oh yeah, Imsimp, there's
Carpe diem.
there's a long
Already?
dispute.
Let's mount up then.
About the age of St. Joseph. And the age of disparity with marrying. There is the old widower theory. There is the, he's just, you know, an older, essentially, gentleman.
It's nice to be out under the open sky.
And then, of course, there is the, they were, you know,
but I can't
of similar
deny
age,
this
the young
is a
Joseph.
real
video.
fucking castle. I've never seen anything like it before. Perkstein is just a little fortress in comparison. Von Berghoff certainly knows how to make an impression.
That's true. Von Burgov must be loaded.
I expect the office of the Royal Chamberlain is a nice earner. Or maybe he shits gold ingots.
But yeah, no, it is, it's... I tend towards the older St. Joseph.
This place makes me feel queasy. Memento mori. I could have croaked it. Gone off to join my old man in eternity. God rest his soul. And he'd ask me, "So, son, what great deeds have you achieved in life?" And I'd have to tell him, "Well, Pa, I fucked everything up royally, and then they hanged me for poaching." Christ on a stick. I can't have that. When I go into the next life, I need to have something better to tell. A whole lot better.
I reckon it'll be some time yet before you go to the next life and face judgment. Audentes
Yeah,
fortuna juvat, remember?
Yeah, his
Or I've
Joseph's
got a
death
guardian
before
angel
Christ's
by the name
adulthood
of
is the
Henry.
primary, my
It's a
primary
shame I
reason
lost
for
my
thinking that he was
flaming
probably
sword,
older. That and the sort of guardian status for a dedicated virgin, like Mary. But at the
I
same
need to get my
time,
mind on other things and get the feeling I'm living. Let's really spur these horses on, eh? What'd you say?
How can I refuse you anything?
There's a junction beyond Troskovitz with a roadside chapel. Whoever reaches it first wins. So, get ready, forward! Ka! Ka! Race with the wind!
yeah, I do like the, I like the idea of young Joseph.
Go! Ka!
But I think it's less likely. Mostly because I am actually kind of unlike a lot of Orthodox types. I'm pretty okay with the idea of a kind of affectionate relationship between Mary and Joseph, albeit of course not a physical relationship in terms of they did not consummate their marriage. That's undeniable. But for example, I know a lot of Orthodox get upset when Joseph is depicted as being in physical contact with Mary. Like, come on, that's silly. I think that it is rather clear that it is that the two of them could perfectly well have been, affectionate.
Christ, yeah.
One might even say
I
in
needed
love,
that.
but certainly not.
My head feels a lot clearer now.
I'm glad to hear it.
Thanks for riding with me, old
Unchaste,
pal.
I'd say.
Think nothing of it. But watch out next time. I won't hold back.
You never give up. That's what I like most about you.
So, what now, Hans?
Like I say, I can see everything clearer now. And the thing that's clearest to me is I won't be trifled with anymore. I'm the Lord of fucking Perkstein. Let everyone know who they have the honor of addressing.
I'm with you on that, noble sir.
Splendid. So, forward to Nabokov. The sooner we get that out of the way, the sooner we can finally start dealing with more important matters.
I have to say, a sitcom of the Holy Family would almost certainly devolve in blasphemy, unfortunately.
Dentes fortuna juvat!
As far as St. Joseph being referred to as the Father of God, or even Jesus referring to him as Father.
We turn right here.
Your knowledge of these parts is impressive.
Well, I mean, yeah, he was
Don't worry.
coaching.
I spent some time in the local forest, so I know my way around. Soon the path will turn sharply and head down a steep hill. So be careful your horse doesn't stumble. And by the way,
I know the area.
there won't be time for it now, but near Nabokov there's this nice marsh where wild boar go to wallow. A good spot. Tried and tested.
Have you forgotten your last encounter with a boar?
Don't be so discouraging. I've learned a thing or two since then.
Yeah, I do not think that it is a proper title. I don't know of any instance of it being used as a proper title.
I was thinking about our mission. What do you think of our
But
prospects? With
I don't see
Burgon?
why Jesus would not have
We
called
haven't
him
got off to
Father.
the best start, have we? But I'll do everything in
He's
my
certainly
power to
the
ensure we
the
succeed.
guardian of our Lord.
Hanush, Radzig, and Yobsky
In life,
depending on us.
certainly.
If they thought it was a lost
In
cause,
earthly life.
they wouldn't have sent me. They'd have sent, you know, someone less important. That's diplomacy in a nutshell. If you're serious about something, you send someone important to add gravity and show respect.
You didn't answer my question.
I did. You just didn't realize. All right, I'll explain. According to what Hanush told me before we set out, von Burgov is no fool. Quite the opposite. Persuading him won't be easy. We have to show him he has more to gain than to lose with us.
What does he have to gain?
That's what we have to work out. But sometimes gaining something is less important than not losing what you have. We should be able to agree on that.
Okay. So Christ in his human nature, and therefore in his human body, is not omnipresent, and does not even have experiential omniscience. Now this gets complicated, right? Omniscience is knowing... The omniscience that Christ had within the incarnation is, as frankly, a little bit beyond my full understanding.
Nabokov is not far now.
To be perfectly
fortress
frank.
stands on a rocky outcrop. We'll have to go around. So we should be careful. Our
But
mission will be taking us around a pond, and we know what happened last time. So get ready. As soon as we cross the stream, we'll give the horses a gallop again.
that Christ's knowledge on earth in human form was of multiple sorts, I guess is probably the right way of putting it. That yes, he's still omniscient because he still has the divine nature. But that omniscience isn't a current knowledge, or not a current. It's not a current. It's not a current knowledge. It isn't before his mind. It is dispositional or innate knowledge, I guess you'd call it. Dispositional would be the technical term for
Turn
it.
left here.
That he knows the truth of all true propositions, but only upon considering them and reflecting upon them through his divine nature. That's the best way I have to understand the distinction between Christ's omniscience and the fact that he learned and experienced things as a
Nice
human
fortress.
being.
I like the way it's concealed. Nicely situated on an outcrop, with a mighty tower and only one approach road. Easy to defend, with a view of the whole valley and its approaches. A well-chosen site.
Are you an expert on fortress construction?
You could say that. It's part of a nobleman's and a warrior's upbringing. Hanush forced me to listen to those teachings from Bernard and others, and I'm glad he did. when I think about it. Unquestionably, learning feeds a man's soul, but right now my belly needs feeding. So I hope...
Good point. I'm gonna have some honey. No, I'm gonna have some roast piglet. Otherwise, this is gonna go bad. Munch. Well, these have gone bad. Darn.
The Yaramira is well stocked.
What a
Von
shame.
Bergov's morning feast set a high bar, after all.
I do like traveling, and I'm not going to whine about my ass. Yeah, I think that so I think that Christ absolutely could have bilocated in life. I don't think there's any evidence that he did, because he didn't have particular need to. But any of the miracles attributed to the saints or attributed to God through the saints could absolutely have been done by Christ on earth in life. I see no reason to think not. Like a good example of this distinction in terms of omniscience versus current knowledge.
This horse must have cost a pretty...
Jesus did not speak English.
What a lot of horses.
Let's put it that way. But
They must have cost a fortune.
if a time traveler, such as one of us,
Von Bergov is paying the buck a tiny
were to
lunatic
go
to
back in
acquire
time
from us.
and speak to Jesus in English, he could absolutely hold a conversation. Right, but because he would have no other reason to do so, he doesn't know. He didn't.
What now, Sir Hans?
No.
Now, I expect
Speak
someone will
English
come to greet us. And hopefully not like they did in Trotsky.
I think we look a little more noble.
Don't receive visitors. You'll have to leave.
That's what he
I
told me.
beg your pardon. See to it that he receives me immediately.
Can't be done. Sorry about that.
I am Sir Hans Capon of Lipa, and I am here with a message from Lord von Bergov. So get to it. And if you keep me waiting here much longer, you'll be sorry.
Please be patient for a while, sir.
My word. You got a sharp tongue sometimes. But what if he won't receive us?
He will. Just wait and see.
Come along. Sir Yaramir will be here any moment.
See?
Yeah, all right. It was a much better reception than Trotsky.
The Lord Jesus Christ be praised.
Amen.
Forever and ever. Please excuse our precautions, gentlemen. These are evil times.
Cool
Well
mustache.
then, Yaramir of Nabokov, at your service. And whom do I have the honor of welcoming to my humble seat?
Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. I am honored, Sir Yaramira. Sir Otto von Bergov asked me to convey to you his cordial greetings, and to parley with you in the matter of the security of this domain.
Certainly, certainly. These are troubled times indeed. Please accept my hospitality, sir. You're surely thirsty after your journey, and you'll have greater comfort in the tower.
An excellent idea. If I may ask that our horses may not be neglected either.
Pelzel, you heard his lordship.
But I've already got 15 animals to deal with. Why doesn't Hurtle do it?
Hurtle has other duties. Stop griping and get to it.
15 horses! My word, sir. You must be doing all right for yourself.
Not entirely. But fortune smiled on me for once at least.
On me too, one could say. I suppose she's doing the rounds in these parts. So, tell me, sir, how did you achieve what you have?
Well, it's a long, complicated story. But I'm guessing von Berkov didn't send you here to find out how well off I am. Or did he?
No, he didn't. I apologize, Sir Yaramira. So, let's proceed to the real reason he sent us. Henry, be prepared. I won't keep Sir Yaramira very long.
Certainly.
Michael, you take Henry here under your wing and make sure he's well taken care of.
Certainly. Henry, eh? Michael's my name, and I welcome you to our little place. It's not the fanciest fortress ever, but you know, I like it here. It serves us well. How was your journey? All good?
Yeah, it's good. So Imsimp, minor note of caution here. Remember that despite there being a sort of ordering of the persons of the Trinity, the Father begetting the Son and the Holy Spirit proceeding from the Father and the Son and the love they share, that does not mean that they proceed in order of importance, or certainly in temporal sequence or causal sequence. There's no causation between them. That only speaks to their eternal relationship to each other. It doesn't speak of their origin. Right? The Father is not the origin of the Son or the origin of the Holy Spirit. Right? That's a weird thing to say, but there is no origin of God nor of any of the persons of the Trinity. Rather, to say that the Father eternally begets the Son is to say that begetting and then procession for the Holy Spirit is the relationship that they bear to one another, eternally and unchangingly. That's very different from saying that one generates, or perish of thought, creates the other. So that's the other thing, is heaven is, I think, kind of, mostly, out of space and time, but I would think it is only out of space and time in the way that the angels are out of space and time. It is aveternal, not properly eternal. That is to say, the angels came into being at the moment of creation, but still, they came into being. They were created by God. They did not exist eternally, but now they are timeless and changeless. The same would apply to the spirits in heaven, keeping in mind that they are not per se persons in heaven. They are incomplete. They're because they're incorporeal. They're not of their full hypostatic union, and so they are not. Aquinas actually talks about this, and he says that if we're to be overly technical, we should not speak of Saint Peter in heaven, but rather the spirit of Saint Peter, or the soul of Saint Peter in heaven. And yes, heaven is aveternal in this sense. It is timeless and changeless, and the spirits in heaven are timeless and changeless. However, heaven, in that sense, in the direct contact, spiritual contact with God in the disembodied state after death, has both a beginning, when we die, and an end, at the end of the world and the new creation and the resurrection. At which point we enter back into time. Right? Okay, that's really weird, and this is the part of philosophy of time that I hate. Because this is the part that starts giving me a headache, and I need some wine. Cheers. But yes, they are, in fact, interceding for Christians in a more or less an eternal way.
Aye. Lovely country. A feast for the eyes.
Well, that's nice to hear, especially from someone from far off parts. But I must say, my throat is dry. And maybe yours too, eh? Come along with me. We'll soon fix that. I'll make you feel at home and we can have a chat.
Thank you for your hospitality, sir.
As I said, the fortress may be small, but the work never stops. Right now, we're repairing the fortifications down there. So
It's a bit
don't
little,
get under
but
the lad's
nice.
feet. But you can drop in on Pelzel and check how he's looking after your horses. We're rolling some dice, eh? We've got none of guesswork, but don't be shy. Invite him to play if he finds himself at a loose end. At least he'll show you how your betters play.
Right you are, Michael. You can rely on me.
And you, Ertl, have you got shit for brains? I've got a guess, for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't know.
Shut your gob and attend to your duties.
Right, I'm going.
So you've heard then. I hope you won't disappoint Sverk and pass some time with him.
I'd love to have a game.
Glad to hear it. You're a good lad. I can tell just by looking at you. His work has some polished badges. I'm sure he'd love to take a look at yours. You'll find him over there at the table. He's there pretty much all day. I'll keep telling him. Your horse will wear a hole down there one day, and you'll fall down in it. Dice and all. But now to the important business. There's a bite to eat on the table and something to wash it down with, so help yourself. And I'll be happy to chew the fat. I'm sure you've got loads of stories.
Okay. I'll play some dice.
I've got this pretty pilgrim's badge. If you ain't chick...
I'd like to play dice. Care for a roll?
Are there any other games that...
What game would you like to play?
That scratch the medieval itch? Civ? Civilization games, kind of. I haven't played it, but I kind of want to. Chivalry does a decent job. Let's do knights.
Knights, as it should be.
Let's play.
Okay.
Got this pretty pilgrim's badge.
I'll take
If
the
you ain't
pilgrim's
chicken.
badge. What's this? Let's just go all weighted dice. Easy enough. Let's just win. And then... one extra die. That's not bad. Doppelganger. That'll work.
Come on,
Crusader
then.
Kings.
Show us
Okay,
what you
yeah,
can
yeah.
do, unless
I didn't
you're
get
playing
too
for
much
the
into
first
it.
time.
I did not get too much into it, but yeah.
You silly doggy.
Greetings, friend.
Fine
God
then.
be with you.
It's not over yet.
There you go. 2,000. Nice start. I should have used the 5 too, but whatever. Ooh, good roll. Good
These
roll.
ones here.
Hey, you still going?
Damn it!
Well, I'm
They're
still ahead.
yours, lad. If you think it'll help you.
I won.
What rotten luck. I won't get that one back.
Nice.
I hear you're a keen dice player.
You heard damn right. All that traveling must have worn you right out. Take the weight off your feet then, and we'll shake and roll while you wait for your lord.
Yeah, Mountain
I
Blade
play
is
for
also
high
one I haven't
stakes
played.
and all. I have some lovely badges too, if you're interested.
Nah, that's alright. Imson says, I'm tempted to get into Crusader Kings. A friend of mine loves playing the Paradox games. I feel they're very complicated. I prefer Total War. Total War is good. I mean, the old ones. I haven't played any of the new, any of the relatively recent ones. The last one I played was 2, maybe. I haven't played since like 2010 or 11 or something like that. Maybe it's been a long time. Also playing Age of Empires 4. I have not played 4. I played 2. Age of Empires 2 was also the last Age of Empires game I played. Rome 2 with mods set in the 11th century. Okay, that's pretty cool. Nah, that's it. All right. Thanks. Good dice. Good dicing. Howdy, soldier.
God be with you, sir. I hope you
And
won't
with your
want for
spirit.
anything here, or find it too dull. If you need anything, Michael will sort you out.
They're very polite. They're very, very polite here. Find out more about the Nebuchov horses. We'll do that.
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
Have I played Mountain Blade 2? No, I have not.
Tell me, how's life in the fortress?
Nothing much. The days drag on, one much like another. What's worse,
Today I copped a shit job. Here with all the shit. But tomorrow will be better. I'm going on a patrol around the local area. I can't wait.
I know what you mean. What's your job today?
The prisoners?
You have prisoners?
Aye. Why else would I be standing here?
Good point.
Yeah.
Who are the poor sods?
A couple of poachers. They're waiting to see what his lordship will do to them. Take care. Careful!
Can't go around you. Interesting. Okay. Whoa! Whoa! What was that? What? I can lean? Okay, that's really cool. I did not mean for that to happen, but that was cool. Oh, well, not supposed to be in here, I guess. What's this? Nothing, I guess. I do want to snoop around, I guess, a lot. Interesting. Okay. I'd like to do some snooping. Then, of course, the question is, how do I go about doing that in a reasonable way without... Well, also, without just intruding on Hans and Sir What's-His-Face.
Quiet! Go away! You better... Where do you think you're going?
Oh, sorry.
That's it! And next time, don't go creeping around here where you don't belong!
I didn't realize I didn't belong. It was odd.
Christ. What a day.
If you're hungry, I left something outside on the table. It's all yours. No doubt you're used to better fare, but it's all we got. So I hope you won't mind.
Am I hungry at all? I could eat. I'd love a pretzel. I'd love a pretzel. Drop those. There you go. You can have them. All right. How do I find out more about the horses? I'd have to leave and come back to see about the horses. But I think I will.
Lovely horses you have here.
Aye, right beauties, ain't they?
There must be more of them than men in the fortress. That many horses must have cost a fortune.
That's right. Sir Yaramir had a stroke of luck.
What stroke of luck was that?
Look, this is Noble's business. I shouldn't go flapping my lips about it.
So there is something dodgy about it, eh?
Bollocks! It's all above board, especially our horses.
That's
Why
suspicious.
not do something for your own lord's honour instead of insulting my lord's honour? We sometimes have this little race. You've got a horse, so you can show us your riding skills, eh?
Don't try that on me. My pa was a blacksmith, so I had horseshoes and hooves in my hand before I could walk. And I've met enough horse folk to know you shouldn't trust them further than you can throw them.
What do you mean?
The horses. Where did Lord Nebat get them?
All right, if you insist. Well, lucky for him, but not so lucky for others. We came across a bunch of them bandits who prey on folk here. We tore into them and hacked them to pieces. A couple of our lads didn't make it. God rest their souls. But we kicked their asses, and we took their horses. They had loads of them. Who knows where they got them, but that's by the by now.
So they are stolen horses. They're just second-hand stolen.
Where did you fight with them?
Not far from the stream that feeds into Nabokov Pond. They were just watering their horses when we charged them.
Good for you.
Too right. It wasn't easy.
I see. Take good care of those horses, then.
I will. And you, sir. Maybe I mentioned it before, but if you're at a loose end, the horses need to stretch their legs a bit. You could help us out. Just a little race around the area. It would do the horses good. And you, too. And if you managed to beat our lad, you wouldn't go away empty-handed.
Sure, why not?
I'll
Let's go
race.
for it.
Thy will be done. The race is from here to Nabokov Mill. That's down the path there and to the right after the little bridge. At the
That's
mill,
not too bad.
there's this granary in front of the dike, and behind that, a willow tree. You go between the granary and the willow, and then back to the fortress. First one back here wins. You'll be taking on Hurtle. He's our best horseman, so you'll have your
Isn't
work
that
cut
you?
out. None of us can beat
No,
him.
he's the
But if
guard.
you manage to, fuck it. I'll give you one of our finest saddles, whatever the cost.
That's fair.
Nice deal.
Let's do it.
Great. I'll call Hurtle, and you can get cracking.
All right, let's do this.
Oh, what does that Pelzer eat? His breath stinks.
What?
Go! Quick! Go! Ka! Quick! Ka!
I really hope I just turned the right way. Shit. I just took a wrong turn, didn't I? Oh no! I lost.
Ka!
It's a right.
Ka! Ka!
Oops. Anyway, while I'm losing, I'll maybe try this again afterwards, but I done goofed it. Pretty bad. Anyway, so yeah, the
This horse. Quick!
the other video I just released was that
Faster! Faster!
was the one on Dave Smith and the whole Douglas Murray debate about Israel and Palestine.
Quick! Ow!
Nope, not that way. I'm gonna have to try this again. But yeah, it's it was a good discussion, I thought, and a good analysis that Dave was doing. It's one of those things where I don't. I had some criticisms, right, and they were expressed in the very long video. But they also were not intended to undermine Dave's position, because I do think that he was ultimately correct, right? And this is an important part of this, right? I don't intend to, in any way, really, say that Dave was wrong. The whole thing was just to point out that he made what I think were a couple of relatively minor, but significant enough unforced errors in his arguments. Let's try this again.
Well, but I reckon you could getting away from his god.
Yeah, another one. Let's try again.
You don't give up easy.
Never.
I'll make the right hand turn
Right.
this time.
I'll call.
That's good. now.
Quick! Ja! Quick!
Oops. It's okay there. It's okay there, Pebbles. You're good. Yoko Pebbles. Anyway, yeah, so essentially the objections that I brought up were more about terminology than anything. And the terminological problems mostly had to do with the idea of intentionality, right? So Dave uses the thought experiment often of, and this is a sort of comparison to the current conflict and the actions of the IDF.
Faster! Faster!
No, you don't.
Quick! Quick! Ja!
Okay, I can make this. I'm sorry, I'm focusing a little bit. I would certainly say that right. So Dave is not wrong. It's just that again, he argues that the deaths of civilians on the part of the IDF is intentional, hence is murder. Now, I'm not going to disagree that it's murder, but it is not exactly intentional per se.
You're right. Great race. Is Hurtle really your best horseman?
He certainly is. But you're a different class altogether, I see. You beat Hurtle, so, like I promised, the saddle is yours.
Hello, Turbo.
Pleasure is all mine.
If you're
You're
so
after my
delighted,
jerky, I
race
know you are.
again.
No, actually, that's fine. I got my Bravante saddle. That's... Ooh! Forgot I was on the horse. Let's see about that thing. Might actually be nice. That might be really good. First class versatile saddle with bronze-lined cantle. Decorated fenders and sheep's wool pants. The generous extension of the carrying capacity brings with it a reduction in the speed of the animal. Turbo, you are going to set your tail on fire again. I don't want you to do this. That is a big difference in capacity. It doesn't actually change my speed. That's cool. That looks nice, though. Man, that's nice. Alright, anyway, back to the fortress. But yeah, the point is that the IDF killing all the civilians, they're doing so knowingly, which is different from doing so intentionally. There is a significant difference there, but the difference is not one of... it's not a significant ethical difference.
You came with that Lord of Lipa, didn't you? Won't you even tell me your name?
Henry.
You're an
Lord
interesting...
Capon's retainer. We're on a mission from Lord Bombergov.
Oh, I'm Clara. Nice to meet you, Sir Knight.
Not technically. Wait, am I?
My sword is at your service, miss.
Yeah, technically.
Blimey.
Hey, Base. A week's been
No
pretty
one's
good.
ever said anything like that to me before. But it's not your sword I need so much as your legs.
My legs?
I have to go and get fresh herbs for our sick folks.
Hi, Turbo.
It's not far, but I'll be grateful for an escort and protector. And if you tell me about your chivalrous deeds, It'll shorten the time.
Sure.
I'll be happy to. At least I'll get to explore the Nabokov surroundings.
The countryside's pretty round here, but it won't be a long walk. I'll just pick some herbs in the glade. Shall we go?
Sure.
Our little fortress doesn't impress you much, I suppose. You must be used to real castles. Actually, that's why I'm so pleased you're here. A bit of excitement at last. Tell me more about knights. Or better still, about yourself. Where have you been? What have you seen?
All right then. Some time ago, my native region, far from here, was plagued by a gang of bandits. I tracked them, and it wasn't easy, until I found their secret stronghold in an abandoned village. A battle broke out. I fought my way to the loft of a run-down church. There, I found their leader and killed him in a duel.
You really aren't any run-of-the-mill man-at-arms. At least I have nothing to fear when I'm with you. Tell me more, please.
And now that you mention castles, I conquered one once. The enemy took it by a ruse, and we couldn't let that go unanswered. We answered ruse with ruse. On a dark night,
This, of course, did not
scaled
go
the
well, but we're not
ramparts
going to tell
open
her
the
that
gate
part.
from inside.
That sounds clever.
Aye, but they discovered us, and we had to withdraw under fire.
A good thing, too. At
What a
least you
good
live
cat.
to tell the tale. Thank you for telling me your stories. It's nothing like my life. I just patch up the lads when they come back cut up and bruised, like last time. But I have other talents,
Like
too.
last time, huh? What was last time? Gonna tell me that story? I'm a little suspicious of stuff. Anyway, the other thing about the video that I was kind of harping on throughout the video, here and there, was of all of the various different times that Dave pointed out that, well, if this had been a domestic law enforcement kind of a situation, and there had been like a sheriff who was dealing with a hostage situation, and in order to get the hostages out and to, you know, kill the hostage taker, decides to blow up the building. Dave keeps using this as an example to point out that, yeah, no, he would be charged with mass murder and would probably be executed. Okay, I had to point this out, and I pointed it out several times, that there's an actual, real, literal example of exactly that happening. And, I mean, it wasn't a sheriff, it was the FBI. But after they blew up the house, church, compound, call it what you want, after they blew it up, no, none of them were charged with anything. Everyone was fine. Except for the people who survived their, you know, firebombing, who were charged and convicted of bullshit and thrown into prison. I'm talking about Waco. Hi, Clara. Can we Oh, here we go. Cool.
This really is a lovely spot. If it was up to me, I'd just lie down in the grass and take it easy. But I can't.
Why not?
I have to gather herbs to treat the wounded. When the ointments and concoctions run out, they reach for the liquor. And if his lordship found out I was dawdling, he'd have my guts for garters.
Does Sir Yaramir treat you badly?
Not at all. He's a good master, but strict, I can't lie. Still, now you're here, you can help me with those herbs. Then maybe we'll find a moment.
For dawdling? I can.
Maybe I'll tell you some stories in return.
I know quite a bit about herbs, I think. So just tell me what's wrong with your lads, and I'll come up with a remedy.
Really? So tell me how to treat fever, say, or shortness of breath.
In that case, you'll need sage and chamomile, maybe some poppy or marigold, am I right?
Aye, exactly right.
There you go.
I've got enough chamomile. It's the rest I need. Above all, the marigold. Since you know all about it, you'll be back in a jiffy, won't you? It all grows in the glade here. but sometimes it takes a while to find.
I think I'll manage.
Okay, cool. I've got the chamomile. She's got chamomile. I need marigold, poppies, and sage. Dandelion doesn't help. Always dandelion. It's what? Marigold, poppy, and sage. Okay. Where's sage? I just saw it. I swore I just saw sage. Valerian. That doesn't help. Thistle. There's sage. Perfect. Poppies. Okay, I need some poppies. And... oh, I need more sage and marigold. Okay. Anyway, yeah, and I will say that this is certainly something that... oh, not Valerian. I don't need Valerian. This is certainly something that Dave knows about. Right? He does not need to be told, I'm sure, that that the feds can, and police in general, can get away with whatever they damn well please at any time, to any extent, even if, you know, it's obviously, objectively speaking, a crime, and really a heinous, horrific crime. Oh, it's interesting. Logging out here. What's with this? Huh. Yeah, I mean, it was a minor little oversight, I think, on his part. But again, it's a minor little oversight that can be pointed out and leaves an unnecessary opening in his argument, and also, with respect to Waco, misses the opportunity to mention something that's, I think, really important.
I've got everything.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot. You've really helped me out.
You promised you'd tell me something.
I will. Don't worry. But first I want to show you something. Hurry.
Okay. Don't be lewd, don't be lewd, don't be lewd, don't be lewd, don't be lewd. I know that... okay, so first of all, let me just say, I know that Clara is one of the romance options, but Henry is loyal to Teresa, so sorry.
Now tell me what's so important that you couldn't tell me back there in the glade.
I wanted to give you a riddle.
A riddle? Why?
You'll know soon enough. Now listen.
Okay.
I bloom in silence, a petal's grace, a delicate charm in a hidden place, a whispered scent, a subtle ploy. What am I, elusive and coy? Solve this riddle, unlock the joy.
Can I just say, hey, look, listen, I get it. That's not... she's like... I get it. I like her. She's nice, but she's ridiculously forward. Like...
the only petal I see here is called Clara.
The right answer. And now for your reward.
No, what with the... Excuse me. Baze says this isn't that kind of game. Ironic, the moment that you send that.
It's nice to meet someone from the trade. I'm also a blacksmith.
Is that so?
No, she actually does
Good
count
Lord, I
against
wouldn't
Teresa
have
loyalty. I have
expected
looked at this. She does.
You must have had a slice of luck to be hanging out with nobles. Me and my brother wanted to get out of the smithing trade, but something always brought us back. I'm Steer. Pleased to meet you, sir.
Henry.
Anyway, while I'm let's just throw this up here. Actually, I didn't have it on a hotkey. I was not prepared for this. But typical bonk screen. Anyway,
how's trade? The plates here. Is that your work?
Well, I wish. If I could make stuff like that, me and my brother wouldn't be stuck here. We just keep it.
Good thing you didn't autosave.
Mend it when the lads get it beat up, which they do all the time.
Tell me about it. I've straightened bent nails and knives and saws till I couldn't see straight. Folks don't take care of things, and then they're surprised.
You took the words out of my mouth. Then it's work from dawn to dusk, day in, day out. And if you saw the work waiting for me down below and in the tower, no end to it.
Hold on. I'll go down there and help you out. The work will go faster with an extra pair of hands.
No, don't go anywhere. What I mean is, thanks for the offer. But we can't have a guest working here, can we?
Interesting.
Besides,
Okay.
you get in the way down there. They're working on the fortifications. Better go and play dice with Twerk or something. Make the most of your free time till your lord gets back.
All right. Whatever you say. I just wanted to help.
I know you did. But I can manage by myself. Really. Let's leave it at that.
There's something, once again, suspicion.
You said you have a brother.
Aye, they call him Bull. The poor bloke tries hard enough, but he ain't got the knack. So he just helps out where he can. Or he does any work that's needed. He's working below on the fortification repairs right now. He'd be better off learning a different trade. But times is hard. This way, at least we're together. That's the main thing. Have you got anyone next to you on life's journey?
I have my lord, and that's all I need.
I understand. I wouldn't mind being a noble's retainer myself. What's he
Family,
like,
so-
actually?
We should not speak ill of our gracious lord. Even if he is frivolous and moody. Base stands corrected. That escalated quickly. That escalated very quickly. Yeah. Jeez.
Brave and just.
I've seen
Everything a knight
guys getting
should
in
be.
trouble for cheating in the girlfriend's
Every
drinks.
day I
Yeah,
learn something new in his service.
He's got you well trained.
And what's your lord like?
My lord doesn't like it when folks talk about him behind his back. Better leave it at that. I reckon it's time I
then.
got back to work. Take care,
Again,
sir.
it's a little bit
sorry?
suspicious, that's all. There's some suspiciousness going on. What's all this then? Nothing. Okay, never mind. Just having a look-see, huh? Anyway, let's not go down there yet. Let's do our horse race real quick. Let's redo our horse race really quick.
At your service.
Lovely horse. There must be more.
That's
What straight?
Ba-ba-ba.
So there is some.
bollocks. Why not? We sometimes.
Don't try that. And I met an.
What do you?
The horse.
All right. Well, we came a couple and
Yeah,
Where did you?
not they were just
Good for you.
too right.
I see. Take good care.
I will. And you, sir, you could help it. And if you
okay, let's
Alright.
race. Let's try again.
You'll be none of us.
That's fair.
Great. I'll.
Let's do it. Okay, let's try this again, shall we?
What does that Pelzer eat? His breath stinks.
Go.
Quick!
I think I'm passing him. Here we go. We're good. We're doing fine. I cut off a bit of a corner here if I go straight through the grass. Not enough to really matter, but I'm behind again. It really is like most of the horse racing is about cutting corners.
Go!
Like so.
Go, go, go! Quick!
Oh, dang it, come on.
Quick!
Yeah, I mean, not wanting to be gossiped about, particularly by his underlings, that does make sense. That is fair. I am winning. Ocarina of Time flashbacks from the horse race.
Go! Go!
Yeah. There's no big fancy wall for me to jump over to keep the horse. But, yeah, whatever. Yeah. All right, there we go. That's better. That's right.
You're right. Great race. Is Hurtle really your best?
Okay, we got it.
If you...
Nah, that's enough. All good, thank you. Let's put that saddle on. And let's head back into the fortress. Let's play some dice, because we did not do that.
Well, Henry, fancy a game of...
Yeah, let's play.
I have a bit of coin again.
What game would you like?
Nice.
Let's play.
Yeah, let's play knights. I like the doppelganger badge. Let's go for it. Wait, did I already play this?
Fortuna, may the best player win.
Did it save after doing this already?
You silly dog.
If you think it'll help you.
I think it will. I think it'll help. Yeah.
These ones here.
Wait, you didn't take the 3 6s?
Oh, come on!
Wow. Silly. Oh, come on! What is this? We have victory.
My God, what a fuck
6
up again!
ones.
Curva, to hell with the
6
coin. But that was a work of
ones.
Well, Henry, fancy a game of
Wow.
dice?
Okay. All right. I am gonna go talk to Clara, but I'm going to, try and avoid anything untoward this time. Oh, or this guy.
What's
He looks
this
like this
about?
guy too.
I've got work to do.
Hold on. I know you from somewhere, don't I?
Bollocks. You've got me mixed up with someone. I don't know you from Adam.
No, I'm serious.
It looks like the
I've seen you somewhere before.
Aye?
the
Where was that
bailiff. He looks like the bailiff. He really looks like the bailiff. Shoot.
Weren't you at the Semine wedding? Begging for food?
What the fuck? Me? Begging? Are you trying to insult me? You think I need to beg?
Maybe I got you mixed up with someone else.
You bloody bet you have. Look, you made a mistake, that's all. We all make mistakes.
I apologise.
It's alright. It can happen to anyone. I don't mind. It was
He,
good to
he looks
see you, my
exactly like the bailiff. Like
I've honestly
exactly.
never seen you before. I don't know what your game is, but leave me out of it.
That's the riddle guy.
Leave me be, will you? I've never seen you before in my
What the hell is going on? Do we have a fortress full of clones?
God be with you, sir. I hope you won't want for anything here, or
him
find
too.
it too dull. If you need anything, Michael will sort you out. Excuse me.
I know that guy too. What about this guy?
Hey, sir, I'm sorry, but I have to ask you not to go any further. I'm sure they'll take good care of you up in the fortress.
Why can't I go there, if you don't mind me asking?
Because there's work going on there, sir. Repairing the fortifications,
His
cutting
armor's so
wood,
rusty.
sharpening stakes. Is like an anthill there. Nothing worth seeing, if you ask me. You get in the lad's way, and God forbid you might have an unfortunate accident. I can't let that happen. I'm sure you understand.
But I want to take a look there.
Sorry, sir. That's not possible.
All right. I understand.
Thanks
keep
for being
pushing
so
me.
understanding, sir.
Look at this guy.
Good to see you.
Who's this guy?
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad, so far.
That voice.
What are you sneaking around here for, you crook?
Trying to look at your face. Schizo arc confirmed, Joey. Yeah, no, these people are every freaking one of these people is just bizarrely familiar. It's weird. Oh man, this is weird, dude. This is super weird. Is it just like reused assets, or is this supposed to be freaky? Okay, tell you what I'm gonna do is no, not that. I'm gonna save your schnapps, because I don't trust this quest. Yay.
Poor fellas. What happened to them?
Bandits, that's what. His lordship's patrol ran into them and they had a nasty fight. They gave them what for, but a couple of our lads were badly knocked about, so I'm patching them up. And who might you be?
Henry.
Okay, we get it.
My sword.
Well, but it's not.
My...
I have to go. And if you.
I'll be happy.
The cut
Okay,
shall
let's
we?
go. Sure.
Our little fortress doesn't impress you much, I suppose. You must be used to real castles. Actually, that's why I'm so pleased you're here. A bit of excitement at last. Tell me more about knights, or better still, about yourself. Where have you been? What have you seen?
What's that
In the
about?
hills above Sasau River, I discovered the enemy's hidden camp. I told the lords about it, and they assembled a force. Just like Lord von Berghoff is doing now. We approached under cover of darkness and attacked.
Clever. And how did it work out? Do tell.
I myself led the attack and fought my way to the main tent. That night I fought like Alexander the Great himself.
I don't know this Alexander of yours.
Really?
But he sounds like a real knight. Tell
Okay.
me more, please.
Oh, I haven't talked about the monastery.
Once, I was on the trail of this scoundrel, but the sly fox hid in the cloisters of Sasau Monastery. So I had to become a novice to track him down.
Good heavens! So you're actually a monk?
No. I entered the monastery under a false name, so I'd say I'm not a real monk.
That's good to know. Thank you for telling me your stories. It's nothing like my life. I just patch up the lads when they come back cut up and bruised, like last time. But I have other talents too.
Don't you start. Woman. Woman, keep your clothes on this time. I'm warning you. I will reset the game again. Ugh. That's good to know. Yeah, yeah.
This really, if it was...
Why not?
I have to get if it's
Okay.
not at all.
For Dordlin.
Maybe.
I know quite a...
Really? I've got since you all grow.
I think I'll...
Dude, the bonk. Yeah, I know. Bonk. It's just like, come on. Marigold, poppy, sage. Okay. Marigold. Marigold. Poppies. Is that enough? Yeah, sage. Blue flower, red thorns. Blue flower, red thorns. Blue flower, red thorns. How much more easy? It's so much easier if I want colorblind. Oh right, there we go. That looks like sage. Yeah? Yep. Poppies help with energy, huh? Thanks for that information, Klaus. I don't think they do, but let's not go there. Let's just not go there. Let's not. Yes, Baze, I reset. Yes, I had absolutely no intention of doing that. I was assaulted. This is not acceptable. Oh, cocaine joke. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. All right. I get it. That makes sense. That makes more sense. Yes, Klaus. Cocaine is very funny. I agree. Cocaine is hilarious. Moving on. Yeah, poppies are also not cocaine. Poppies are not cocaine. They're opium. Almost the opposite, really. These women are absolutely crazy.
Wonderful. Thanks. I will. Hurry.
Oh, let's go into the weird little glade and surrounded by forests where I'll very suddenly take all my clothes off. Oh no, they fell. Anyway, good lord. I accept your mulligan, Klaus. I accept it.
Now tell me what...
I want
a riddle.
Your knife and wisp solve this.
Sorry, but I really can't right now. I'm on an important mission, and
Oh, aye, your lord and your mission. Are you really his squire? You're more like his little doggy, if you ask me. Back to your master. Now.
What the fuck was that? Whoa! Man, these bitches be crazy, man. I reject her advances, and she's like, this is so much like the meme of the woman, or I guess typically in the meme it's an elf trying to seduce the paladin.
How's the watch going?
Who, when he rejects her, she just starts screaming incel. You know, like, okay, no, but oh god. Klaus, there was a very strong implication of horizontal tango. Then I reset because that was far from my intention.
You silly mutt.
Who's a good doggy? It was very, very far from my intention. No, you don't buy stuff. Literal reset button is better than therapy. Yeah.
End, sir? Dice will help pass the time.
All right. Well, let's have a seat.
Henry.
Do I have
a word with you?
I have room for a pretzel.
My respect.
Let's have a pretz. All right, Michael. Women never take
Lord
rejection.
von
Well, yeah,
Berghoff
fair.
himself sent you. So, what has he sent you with?
He's calling his loyal men to arms. To fight back against the bandits running rampant in the region.
Now you're talking. It's about time. They've been causing trouble around these parts as well. How many men does Lord von Berghoff have?
That's a really suspicious question.
I don't know. Trotsky is so big, I couldn't guess how many men there are there.
Well, hopefully enough. I bet my left nut Lord Yaromir will send me. Tell me one thing, though. Because I can't wrap my head around it. Why didn't von Berghoff send one of his own instead of some Lord of Perkstein and his escort?
Well, I suppose he wanted to show respect to Lord Yaromir. So he didn't send just anyone.
Ah, the way of the nobles. Not something I know much about, but you do, it seems. So your master, Lord Capon of Perkstein, is somehow significant.
Yes, Klaus. My herbalism training leads me to diagnose you with down horrendous with them. Down horrendous. And I hereby prescribe you with 42 inches of elm. Okay. Bonk. There it is. See, that's the thing. Grace talking about the booger sugar reference. Would be Vin Mariani because Pope Leo the 13th endorsed quite heavily wine influence with booger sugar. Really interesting. Well, first of all, I mean to be perfectly straightforward, cocaine or coca, I guess, is in no way found in Bohemia. So it's a little bit. That'd be a little bit of a journey to go find any of it. We're not making any side quests to Colombia, at least not for a few hundred years. But I did not know that. That's interesting. Well, I have half of that right here, so cheers. This wine is only infused with blueberries, which is very good though. Pretty significant. Let's go with that. Because I don't want to oversell him, but I also don't want to undersell him. I don't want to oversell him because I have really bad feeling that he's going to become a hostage. Really, Klaus? Okay. So somebody brought His Holiness some coca wine, which was a bit of a thing in the late 1800s. He was a big fan.
Well, the Lords of
Okay.
Liper are a large house. Among them, Capon is pretty insignificant.
That must piss him off, eh? I wonder how many more of his relatives will have to pass on before he gets something worthwhile.
Nah, well, I never looked into it.
And you're his what? Page? Servant?
His escort. I give advice when he asks
Man at
for
arms,
it.
I guess.
But mostly I take care of his security.
Fair enough. I get it. I used to travel with Lord Yaromir, but he barely travels these days, so I don't get out much.
Lord Capon is always getting up to something.
Well, I envy you a bit. But hey, we've had a nice chat. And since you're here, what would you say to a bit of a friendly duel? You've got time to kill, and me too. Let's do something to shorten it. We can do something dignified. We'll clash arms for the glory of our masters. You for yours, me for mine.
Deal. Sure, I can win. Imsib asks how a Catholic couple should conduct themselves during dating or courting. Chastely, but I see no reason for a prohibition against affection, clearly. That said, the point of dating or courting or whatever you want to call it, because I don't really make a strong distinction between the two, is to discern marriage or not. Right? And so don't do what I did and have a, how long was it? How long were we engaged? 3 or 4 years? It was way too, it was ridiculous. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Get married when you know you want to get married. Like, when you know that you're going to, just do it. Like, we were dating for, Eric and I guess I should say, we're dating for, yeah, I think it was like 3 years before I proposed, and then I think it might have been 4. And then we were engaged for another 2 or 3 more. So, like, don't do that. Don't do that. And then, yeah, Klaus, in a way that tempts neither of you to sin, gives no reason for anyone to expect you are sinning. Well, the latter of those is somewhat difficult in today's day and age, because if you're dating someone, that gives, just like the fact that you're holding hands in public gives most people a reason to believe that you're sinning. The problem there is that our cultural expectations are so twisted and distorted that there's no, like, there's almost no avoiding scandal. Yeah, that's actually difficult. That's a really difficult
I accept your offer.
problem.
I'd fight for Lord Capon any time and any place.
Then you're the right man in the right place. Get your kit ready, and we can get stuck in.
I don't want to pry, Michael, but Sir Yaramir said he had some luck with horses. That sounds interesting.
Nothing interesting about it. His lordship's affairs are a long story, and a dull one at that.
Yeah, hand-holding fine, staying at each other's houses is not. I mean, yeah, fine, fair enough. But certainly at least imprudent. But again, if the reason is scandal and not temptation, because temptation, that's actually quite serious. So know thyself, right? And know each other. Don't know each other in that sense until the wedding, but anyway. Sorry. But in terms of scandal, it's just damn near impossible to avoid. And a lot of it comes down to speaking, right? Is to being open and upfront about the nature of the relationship, not just between each other. That's important too, but more broadly among friends. So, yeah, there you go. Okay, so Grace is recommending a video from a channel called Brain Blaze, called Gift of the Gods, The Secret History of Cocaine. The history of cocaine is actually hilarious. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to write that down so I remember to check that out. Put a link to it somewhere in, like, history in Discord. It's called Gift of the Gods. And yeah, Klaus says, use your judgment regarding kissing. Does it tempt either of you? Is it so involved that any bystanders think those two are about to tear off each other's clothes? Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it follows the same rules, right? It's a matter of let me put it this way. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with any kind of display of affection, but there could be things that are extrinsically wrong about it, whether that is public scandal, whether that is temptation to sin further, or even to lust, right? Rather than lust rather than love, say, right? So yeah, there could be something wrong with it, but it is not intrinsically wrong. Again, that's, I think, probably the right distinction to make.
Well, if there's one thing Lord Capon taught me, it's that noblemen's affairs are never dull.
If you insist, well, you're in for a disappointment. There's nothing interesting about it.
Really?
Sir Yaramir had these relatives, and they died, God rest their souls. And his lordship inherited some land, but they couldn't give it to him or something. So they gave them horses instead, to make up the amount owed. See?
What?
Complicated, ends all, but all above board.
Hold on. Pelzel told me in the stables that you took them from some bandits you killed.
Pelzel don't know shit. It's like I said.
Interesting.
So he just invented the bandits, or what?
No, there's bandits around, all right. We talked about it, didn't we? We came across them. They did for a couple of hours, but we sorted them out in the end.
Where did you come across the bandits?
Between Lower Samin and Rock Tower Pond.
But Pelzel said it was by Nebakov Pond.
Pelzel can't tell his arse from his elbow, let alone one pond from another. And now, if you don't mind, I have to go down and check the work on the fortifications. If I leave the lads unsupervised too long, they always fuck it up. So wait for your lord and God be with you.
Okay, yeah, that's really suspicious. Like, simply the fact that they have completely divergent stories. Just quick changing clothes, don't worry about me. Old? Interesting. Okay, cool. Hi, Turbo. What are you up to? Are you also sneaking around causing trouble? You're behind the camera. Coat of arms circuit. Okay, with a Waffenfrock. Marksman's kit. Okay, nothing I need. Nothing incriminating. Armorer's kit. Not incriminating. Bowman's brew. No.
Good lord. That's some ammunition stockpile. The lord here doesn't leave anything to chance.
Wounding arrow, huh? I mean, it's not too suspicious, but it is a little. Turbo? Don't even think about it. Do not go under my boom. Don't go under the boom. Oh, what do I think of prosperity gospel? It's dumb. It's obvious heresy. This Dogwood Village bout, no. That didn't help. Okay, that didn't really get me anything or anywhere. Okay, moving on. Okay, cool. Once again, interesting. Nice fortress. Let's see. Dagger mace? Okay, that's really cool. I need to take it. That's very neat. What's this? A badge, I'll take. It looks stolen, but... nothing particularly interesting or incriminating. Okay, hold on. I am going to pause while I read some of this because it's interesting. So, Imzim says, do you ever feel that by hoarding collectibles you're sinning and not giving more to the poor? As a Catholic nerd, I sometimes fear I'm far too materialistic. I don't think so. Well, yeah, see, that's the thing. I actually have some relatively strong thoughts on thoughts, not opinions, on clutter. I am something of a maximalist when it comes to just kind of stuff. And by that I mean
I expect these are the chambers of the Lord of the Castle, where he's receiving Sir Hans. I shouldn't disturb them.
They're sleeping up here. They're all asleep though, right? Where is?
Military equipment? That must have cost a fortune. There's enough here for a small army.
Bandits Brigandine, huh? Milanese Brigandine. Pavese. Lords of Nebuchov, Knight Shield, okay. Broadsword. Nice swords. I'm gonna save before I ruin anything. Okay. Okay, no, it's just money. Loot, lamp. Very hard. Okay, great. But yeah, I find a great deal of comfort in having stuff, just broadly speaking. Even if the stuff is not necessarily momentarily useful, say, you know. Where I'm missing something. We do have nice machicolations here. I'll say that. That's nice. That's great. What's this? A glaive? I don't need that. It's cool. Okay, well, I have to get into the prison, clearly. Clearly, I have to get into the prison. Right? But how?
Well, fuck me sideways. You ride like you've got hellhounds on your tail. All credit to you. I wouldn't say no
Here.
to a rematch. Pelzel will be happy to get everything ready.
Sir Yaramir's looking for you.
Yeah, that'll work.
What does he want?
Something to do with horses. He says that's your forte.
Fucking hell. Pelzel's cocked up again, and it's up to me to put it right. As usual.
Man, yeah, no, Imsimp, I would love to visit some real medieval castles. The issue is that that I live in the U.S. Like, I am nowhere near any medieval castles. Oop. Interesting. Yeah, I'm nowhere near any medieval castles, so it's not exactly a day trip.
What do you want now? You've already taken everything I have. Sooner or later, Otto von Bergau will find out the truth and have you all hanged, believe you me.
Oh, interesting.
You got me mixed up with someone. I mean, it was Lord von Bergov who sent me here.
What? If
No,
you're
hold on
not
then.
one of those
Please stand by.
cutthroats, what are you doing here?
I swear by all that's holy, I came from Trotsky on a mission from Lord von Bergov.
Thank God. Fortune smiles on me. I'm
Stop
Jaromir
yelling.
Nebok. You gallop back to Trotsky and tell Sir Otto that bandits have seized the fortress and are holding me captive. Tell him to bring an army and put an end to their mischief.
When we arrived, their leader pretended to be you and tried to deceive us.
The bastard!
Who is he?
I haven't a clue. I've never seen him before, and he didn't bother to introduce himself. His men call him Captain. But the way he behaves and speaks, I reckon he's high-born. Now, stop wasting time. Go and tell Otto von Bergau.
How did they take the fortress then?
We don't have time for storytelling, for Christ's sake. If they catch you here, all will be lost. Hurry back to Trotsky.
Well, Lord von Bergov is bound to ask me that, and I don't want to just stand there gaping like a stuffed owl.
Well, all right.
Fair point.
It was a stormy night. Somehow they managed to climb the cliff, I suppose. They just suddenly appeared in the fortress, that's all. They wiped out my guards, burst into the tower. They took us by complete surprise. I didn't have many men, and most of them died before they could draw their swords. They took me captive. This is all that's left of us. Now you know. So what are you waiting for? Go to Sir Otto.
I'll tell Lord von Bergov everything. You can depend on me, sir.
God bless you. Now go.
I can't go straight away. I have to wait till my lord's meeting is over. Otherwise, it would be suspicious.
So presumably
God's
this happened
sake.
some time ago.
At least get your horses ready then, so you can leave at once. God be with you.
Can I just pick the lock and let you out? Or... Quick, let's see what's in here. I'll take it. Alright, that'll do it.
Who goes there? You're not allowed in here.
Let's look intimidating real quick.
You buffoon! Why did you lie to me? If you weren't here with a noble, I'd take a pizzle to get hide.
Okay. I am, though. Bye. Alright, let's check on the horses, shall we? But yeah, this did happen some time ago, like presumably before we even arrived in the region. Because I have checked in on this place before, and it was exactly the same status. There was the guy up there saying, "Oh no, nobody's allowed in." You know how they greeted us. We'll wait for Capon. But as for going to somewhere like medieval times, we have been to some local Renaissance festivals. Both the one around here. We haven't taken the whole family to the one around here yet. The Bay Area Renaissance Festival, which is nice. We did on our big road trip over to Texas. We went to the Houston Renaissance Festival, which is massive, unbelievably massive, which was really cool. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Excellent! My favorite retainer and protector just when I need him. The mission is fulfilled. It was a good meeting. In fact, we had a nice long chat. Sir Jaromir is a pleasant fellow, and he promised to send some men to help Lord von Bergov,
Great.
of course. So we got what we came for. What about you? Did you have fun?
Fucking hell, Hans.
You can be glad you're alive.
Is there something wrong?
You bet there is.
Don't
The
say
whole
that
fortress
until
has
you
been
are
taken
well
over
on the
by
road.
bandits. They attacked it and took Sir Yaramir
Dude.
prisoner. They're pretending to be his garrison. And you didn't speak to Nebak, but to their chief. Thank Christ they didn't take you prisoner as well.
What?
I found the real Nebak in jail. I swear to God it's all true. We have to disappear as quickly as possible before they take us captive as well.
Oh, shit! Well, then we better leave right now. You can explain it properly on the way.
Yeah, agreed. Let's go. Yeah, Imsimp asks, why is it a Renaissance fair, not a medieval fair? Just because of Victorian historiography. The Victorians kind of worship the Renaissance and romanticize the Middle Ages to
This
in a
place
different
again.
way.
Oh, it makes my blood run cold.
And also because the
But
whole thing is
it's good
very
we're back
anachronistic.
safe. I was
They
so
always are,
afraid they
so.
might send someone after us. Especially after what you said on the way about Sir Yaramir being a prisoner. It was clever of you to sniff out the deception, Henry. I'll take my hat off to you. Lord von Berghoff must be informed.
Need a rest first. And by that I mean it is midnight, and we're gonna have to wrap it. You know what? Oh, Imsimp. No, you should not expect historical accuracy. No. You should not. No, you should not. There's a... Okay, the biggest pet peeve I have... There's two issues I have with Renaissance festivals. One, they're not Renaissance. They are more medieval than Renaissance. But they're also just a kind of... A gentle smearing of every historical period in Europe and beyond from approximately 800 to 1800. Roughly. It's there is no set period really for any of the stuff. So in any Renaissance festival I've ever seen or been to, it's not. It is just a kind of gentle smear of historical. But then the other thing is, there's also there's a lot of neo-pagan false nostalgia. It is in large part forgotten that the Middle Ages were essentially the height of Christendom, in the Renaissance as well. And there's a lot of my pagan ancestors kind of that goes into a lot of Renaissance festival stuff, which is really disappointing. It is what it is. Neo-pagans need something to hang their hats on. So yeah, let's do this real quick before we wrap it up. Then we'll wrap it up after we talk to Van Berghoff. No, this might be a long quest. Let's not. Yes, there are also Norse cosplayers, Norwegians as they're sometimes called.
Give me a moment. I need a rest after that long journey.
Are you trying to be funny? You can rest later. We have to tell von Berghoff right now that Sir Yaramir is being held prisoner.
Okay, fine. Whatever. That made a decision for me.
Welcome back, Sir Hans. Henry?
Greetings, sir.
I'm glad you got back safe and sound.
Me
now
too.
let's get down to business. Lord Capon, what news do you bring from Sir Yaramir? How many of his men can I count on?
None,
3.
my lord.
Oh, okay.
The situation is worse than you can imagine. Nebakov Fortress has been taken over by bandits, and Sir Yaramir is their prisoner.
What?
Their leader posed as Sir Yaramir. While I negotiated with him, Henry found out the truth.
Sir Yaramir urgently requests that you send a force to Nebakov and free him.
I will, of course. The news might actually be better than it seems.
Hello, Mr. Turbo.
What's good about it? They seized the fortress.
At last, we know where to strike. They thought they would gain a foothold, but instead they walked into a trap. Nebakov will be easy to besiege.
Really?
We will sit down when we have enough men mustered. That heap of sticks will not last a day against my knights.
And yes, that is true. Renaissance is easier to abbreviate than historical costuming or Middle Ages or medieval or Christendom or anything.
We will support you in the field, of course. But before we take the fortress, I'm very keen to finish the business we came about.
There will be time enough for that. There are several loose ends to tidy up before we attack Nebakov. You have proved yourselves most capable. So I will let you take care of it. We caught one of those bastards who ambushed us.
What? Ooh. How?
A stroke of luck, more than anything. He's under lock and key down in the dungeons.
And? Did you get anything out of him, sir?
It turns out he's a tough nut to crack. My men haven't yet got a word out of him.
What about torture, sir?
That is just it. The men are superstitious. They say unclean work fits only for an executioner. And it seems we don't have one here. So they just beat him a little. But the bastard certainly knows how to hold his tongue.
Damn!
I thought you might also be interested in what he knows. He's most likely from the same band that attacked you. I don't know what you think about such superstitions, Lord Capon. But if you want to try and get something out of him, I will not hold you back. If he doesn't sing...
So, Klaus, that is a good point. They could starve them out relatively easily. It's very small. There weren't a lot of stores.
Who he is in league with.
They're heavily armed.
Because it is not
well
possible
equipped.
that they could evade us for so long without
but-
local support.
That's an offer that's hard to resist, Sir Otto. I have a whole list of questions for that scoundrel, and superstitions mean nothing to me.
Great.
All the instruments you need are right there. Make him regret the day he took up arms against us.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how tender-hearted your men are. Especially after what that band did to you and your captain. But I haven't forgotten. We'll get it out of him.
This will be the thing
hard
we start
way,
next week,
if need be.
I'm glad to hear it.
I think
You
the
have
attempt. I
already
think the plan though is
surprised me
assaulting
once or
rather than
twice.
besieging.
So I'm interested to see
At
if
least
you
based on
can
how
do
von
it again.
Berghoff
And if not,
explained it.
I shall just hang the bastard. As a warning to the others. Nevertheless, while we are dealing with nuisances, did you notice anything suspicious on my estate while I was away? Something that might put us on the trail of those scoundrels, say.
I'm afraid I can't help you there, sir. While you were away, I spent my time, hunting. And after that, I was a guest in your cellars.
That's true. And you, Henry?
Okay. Wow. There's a lot of stuff to report. I'm already late. Well, let's go through it. We kind of have to. First though, I did want to address this, right? There was also, if you recall, the weak point in Nebakov Fortress. The lower level, the wall was basically destroyed. They were repairing it. They were rebuilding fortifications. So if the assault comes soon, before they've finished rebuilding, that can be an assault rather than a kind of an ordinary sort of encircling siege kind of thing. Oh, I can only report one thing. Really? Thank you, UV. I did not realize that. Okay, murder in Troskowitz. That's not suspicious. That doesn't actually help. Robert Baron Jules is in Samine. That doesn't help much. He should know about that, though. The Inquisition doesn't matter. The Nomads don't really matter. It's between Samine and Jules. Jules does seem to have turned things around pretty substantially. I know this matters. I know this choice matters, and I forget how. I forget what effect this has. This is the most suspicious. So let's go for it.
A strange thing happened. Young Semine rushed off from his own wedding as soon as the ceremony was over. He left his bride there. On their wedding night. The poor girl was devastated.
Interesting. That was around the time your company was attacked, was it not?
You are right. That is truly strange coincidence. Young Olda. I don't like where this is going. But we have to uncover the truth. I hope the answers are waiting for us below. In the dungeon. Now, to more pleasant business. My personal bodyguard, Lord Bartosz, also known as Black Bartosz, came back from Prague with me. An outstanding swordsman, among other things. So if you want to take your mind off things or fancy some training, as my esteemed guest, he will be at your service. You will most likely find him at the sword-fighting arena in the outer fortifications.
Come here, buddy.
For you, Henry, he will have a gift from my personal armory as a token of my gratitude for your services.
Thank you, sir.
Got him. Yes, got him. All right. Behold. Turbo would like to tell you all good night. I'm going to call it here because it is past midnight. I have a cat now, and he would like to say maybe meow or something. Are you gonna meow? No, you're too busy purring. He's a good boy. Oh, there he goes. He meowed. There, good boy, good fuzzy boy. This is Turbo. He is in fact fuzzy. You're correct. Anyway, good night, everybody. That's all I got time for. Aw, okay. I may have another video or so planned. We'll see. He really wants me to let him go. He also doesn't like being held like a baby or a cat. Okay, buddy. Bye. Good night, Turbo. Anyway, that is all the time I got. I might do some off-stream stuff. We'll see. Or we might pick it up right here. We're certainly going to pick it up with the torture thing next week, so that'll be fun. Interesting moral dilemmas as well, certainly. The usury video. Yeah, I know. I'm still in the midst of decision making as to what level of academic sophistication I want to put into something like that. I am planning on an IP video that has to do with intellectual property, distinctions between intellectual property, AI, and plagiarism, which is useful for students and whatnot as well. So there you go. So stuff like that. I'm thinking about some stuff. I got some things that are kind of tossing around in there. Also expect some clips and things. Another thing to think about. But in any case, that's about all I got. All I got for tonight. It is past time that we call it. So thanks for joining me again. I'll see you guys next time. Come right back here on Thursday for more Star Wars Jedi Academy. We're going to Chandrilla. That'll be fun. Anyway, I'll see you guys then, and then I'll see you guys again next week, and then I'll see you guys next Thursday, and then I'll keep seeing you. So, wonderful evening, everyone. Remember, don't be safe, be well, more importantly, be good. Good night, folks.